If you are someone that struggles to celebrate your wins, this is something that you'll probably feel as well, is that you reach your target, you celebrate your win, you don't celebrate your win, and then you're like, okay, what's next? And this is where that lack of fulfillment comes from. And unfortunately, the more that you achieve, the more you're going to feel that need for success. And in turn, if you're not celebrating your wins, then nothing's ever going to be good enough. You can have all the cars in the world, all the money in the world, all the girls, all the men, whatever it might be that you're into, right? You could have all of these things going for you in a positive way. But if you aren't stopping to be present and celebrate the things that actually, you're doing for yourself, and take time for yourself to really recognize how far you've come, then you're never going to be fulfilled. Because, alrighty, legends, welcome to another episode of the INTOCHANGE Podcast. And you have me today for another solo episode with my beautiful black eye. And before you think that I have this black eye for like 2 or 3 weeks, I block most of my episodes for the solo episodes in like blocks of 3 to 5 at a time. And because I am going on holidays in a few weeks, I'm trying to block out as many as I can. So unfortunately, you have to put up with this beautiful black eye of mine for the next couple of episodes. But anyways, so today I want to speak about being present in the moment and actually enjoying the journey rather than being focused on the destination. But before we do that, I do have a very small favor to ask. So if you haven't subscribed to the podcast already and you have been enjoying the content, can you please go and subscribe and share this with just one of your friends? Because as you know, the more eyes and ears we can get on this platform, the bigger and better guests I can bring for you guys. And in turn, the more value I'm going to be able to deliver. And that's obviously going to give you guys the most that you can out of this podcast. So let's dive into today's topic. It was actually requested by a client of mine and also a friend, Emma Dwyer. So thank you very much for the podcast episode request. Hopefully, I give you what you need and what you want out of this. But this is something that I used to really struggle with as well. And like I said, that is not being present and always being so focused on the destination. But for anyone that knows, anyone that has obviously been so destination focused or so focused on the goal and forgotten about the journey, you know that once you do get to that goal, if you have reached that goal, that generally it leaves you feeling unfulfilled. So this is why it's important to set yourself little milestones along the way, little points of celebration, and also to regularly review where you were to where you are today. So I'm going to break this down into a couple of different sections. So first of all, being goal orientated, not a bad thing. Goals are what keep us in movement. They keep us in momentum. They keep us moving forward. So without goals, we haven't got something driving us towards where we want to go. So setting goals is a very important part of life, I believe. It's something that everyone should do. And if you haven't got goals that you're working towards at the moment and you're feeling a little bit stagnant, a little bit stuck, and like you've got a little bit of a lack of purpose, that would probably be why. So there's a good starting point. Start to set some measurable goals. And then from there, set some milestones. If your goals don't scare you, they are not big enough. Simple as that. So set little milestones along the way on the way to reaching your goals that can help you to remind you that you're on the right track. Because as you know, when you hit these milestones, this will help you to keep momentum moving forward. This is what keeps us motivated. And motivated is something that's fleeting. So if you've got little things that you can hit along the way to reaching your big goals, then that's going to be something that will keep you on track and keep you motivated. But what a lot of people forget is to actually look back. So, sitting now where you are in your life, if you look back 5 years ago, you'd probably be a completely different person to who you are today. That is if you're on the journey of personal development. And if you're on this podcast, I'm going to take a I'm going to make a generalization and say that you are on the journey of personal development in some way, shape, or form, or at least you're trying to better yourself. So look back 5 years ago, and you're probably a completely different person to who you were today. I can tell you right now that 6 years ago, I was a completely different person to who I am today. I've done a full 180 since then, and it's really cool to look back and realize how far I've come. But sometimes we get so caught up on focusing on our goals and focusing on moving forward that we forget to actually take time to be present in the moment and enjoy exactly where it is today or where we're at today. Great example of this would be if you have kids. And I use this example a lot. So the moment that you have right now with your children will never ever occur ever again. So this is why it's so important to be present in the moment and actually enjoy everything going on around us. If you are someone that struggles to celebrate your wins, this is something that you'll probably feel as well, is that you reach your target, you celebrate your win, you don't celebrate your win, and then you're like, okay, what's next? And this is where that lack of fulfillment comes from. And unfortunately, the more that you achieve, the more you're going to feel that need for success. And in turn, if you're not celebrating your wins, then nothing's ever going to be good enough. You can have all the cars in the world, all the money in the world, all the girls, all the men, whatever it might be that you're into, right? You could have all of these things going for you in a positive way. But if you aren't stopping to be present and celebrate the things that actually, you're doing for yourself, and take time for yourself to really recognize how far you've come, then you're never going to be fulfilled, because all these things are just things. But what life is all about, it's about the journey. It's about not the destination, right? Because at the end of the day, the destination of life is death. That's a given. And the time we have right now is never going to occur again. So be present in the moment. And what does that mean? That means taking time to reflect on, I guess, where you're at right now. Taking time out for yourself and realizing that you got work, okay? Yes, you've probably got deadlines, but that work will come tomorrow. It's okay. It's not going anywhere. So take time to spend with your friends. Take time to spend with your family. Take time to spend with yourself. Do the things that make you happy. Do the things that make you smile. You know, take a boxing session. Maybe don't get punched in the face as hard as I did, or do whatever makes you feel happy. Remind yourself that you're not, made of glass. It's always a good thing. But, go skydiving, do something crazy, go for a run, join a gym, do stuff that makes you feel good, go for a walk on the beach. Take time to do all of these things, because unfortunately, if you let life pass you by, there'll become a time when you cannot do these things any longer, or at least you can't do them comfortably or like you used to. So celebrate, enjoy life while you're young, enjoy life while you can and while you're able and while you're willing to, rather than getting so caught up in having the next thing. So if you're buying a house, right, and then you're buying another house, you're buying another house, did you actually stop to celebrate the fact that you just bought a house, which in today's economy, I should say, is a hard thing to do? Celebrate that shit. Take time for you. Give yourself a pat on the back. Whatever it might be, whatever feels good for you to do. Have a little ritual that you do every time that you achieve something. Because every time that you achieve those little things and you give yourself that little bit of a celebration, it's actually then allowing you to take the time to celebrate, which is something so many of us struggle with, because we feel like it's, especially if you're someone like myself who, is quite ADHD and is always feeling that they need to do more and need to do more and need to do more. And once again, that comes from a place of not being enough to a certain degree. If you feel like you have to consistently do these things over and over and over and over again, like you're trying to prove yourself to someone, once again, something that I struggle with to a certain degree, then this comes from a place of not being enough. So sit with yourself and realize that you have, these achievements that you've achieved. These aren't things that everyone can do. Whatever it might be, no matter how big or how small, celebrate it. Okay, because by celebrating these things and giving yourself permission to actually take time for you, it's then reminding you that you are enough, and reminding you that you do deserve praise and that you do deserve good things in your life, and you do deserve to have all the things that you want. So, goals, great to have, but being so goal orientated that you lose sight of all the other things that are going on in your life and all the other things around you, like your social life, your family life, your relationships, and all these other things that are such an important part of your life, then, if you're losing sight of these things, then maybe it's time to step back from the goal. Because the thing is, we all want things right now. That's the problem with today's world, is we think that everything happens overnight. But the problem is that we see all these people on Instagram that are killing it, that we think are overnight successes. But the average lifespan of an overnight success, the time it takes to become an overnight success on average is about 10 years. 10 years of consistent hard work, right? And during that consistent 10 years of hard work, you've got to take time to celebrate for yourself too. It's not going anywhere. Your goal that you have, okay, it will be there tomorrow. So take some time for you, even if it's just an hour a day. Take time for you to actually be present in the moment and sit with yourself and see what you need, what you as a human being, not as a human doing, which is what we get stuck doing, right? We get stuck in the do, rather than actually being present with ourselves and enjoying everything around us. Look at the beautiful world we live in. And some would say the world isn't beautiful. There's so much misery and so much anger and so much pain. And if you watch the news, that's all you're going to see. But if you stop for a second and look around you and see that, for a lot of us, we're quite able. We're able to do a lot of things with our bodies. We live in, a pretty cool place, especially if you are in Australia and this is coming to you from Australia. you're pretty fucking lucky to be living here. I mean, look at what's going on in overseas at the moment. Like, there's always constant conflicts, and in Australia, we're pretty lucky with these things that we have. So be grateful for that shit. Be present in the moment. Enjoy the things going on around you. Another great way to be present is by reflecting daily. So I'm gonna have a quick little shameless plug here for the Happier, Healthier You journal. But that's something that I use every day because it gives me a chance to reflect on the things that I've done well in the day, the things I haven't done so well, and the things that I'm doing to move forward towards my goals, but also the things that I appreciate about each day. And this is what being present is all about. It's about being grateful. It's about enjoying every moment. It's about taking in everything going on around us rather than just being so goal orientated that we're just driving towards the next thing. And once we reach it, not celebrating and moving on to the next thing and on to the next thing and on to the next thing. And then eventually living that life that is unfulfilled. So, my personal recommendations for being more present in the moment are having practices that you do each day which help you to stay grounded and stay present. So, whether it be, once again, taking time for yourself without social media in the morning, journaling like I do, meditating, uh, you know, taking time to actually celebrate your wins is another big part of it. Yeah. So, every day, even though there might not be an amazing day, there is always something amazing in every day. So find that one amazing thing and focus on it and celebrate yourself for it. That one thing that you did well, even if it's as small as, oh, that guy cut me off in traffic, I didn't get angry about it. That's not a small thing. That could be a big thing for you, especially if you're someone that has anger issues. So celebrate all the small things, whatever they look like, whatever shape and form they come in, and take time to be present and appreciate the things that you're doing for yourself in your life. So, guys, hope that's given you some value. And Emma, I hope that has helped you with answering that question of, how do you go from being someone that is so goal orientated and is so focused on the next big thing to being present. There's just small little practices you can start to do every day because, once again, it comes back to another thing. Actually, I didn't mention is that being so goal orientated and being so focused on the next big thing is also something that might come back to not being able to or not knowing how to sit with self and actually be present in the moment with yourself because you're scared of what might come up or because you're trying to distract yourself. And obviously that's a big negative as well. So if you're trying to distract yourself, think about what it is you're trying to distract yourself from. And is there some deep work that you need to do there? So once again, that's something that I can help you with. If you would like to reach out, I'm here to chat. I'm happy to support you on that journey of figuring out what are the things that are holding you back, what are the things you're trying to avoid working through, and how you can start to work through those things. Anyways, guys, I will see you over on the next episode. Looking forward to having a chat with you guys then. Peace.